कॉल करे क्या?
भूलिया तुम्हारे संसारे आशिया, भूलिया तुम्हारे संसारे आशिया, ये नन्ना विधा व्यथा, ये नन्ना विधा व्यथा। তোমার চরণে আসি আসি আমি, তোমার চরণে আসি আসি আমি, বলিব দুঃখের কথা, বলিব দুঃখের কথা। জননী যতরে ছিলাম যখন, জননী যতরে ছিলাম যখন, বিষম বন্ধন পাশে, বিষম বন্ধন পাশে। प्रभु देखा दिया मोरे, देखा दिया मोरे, पहुँचलो रे दिन उदासे, पहुँचलो रे दिन उदासे। ভাবিনু জনম পাইয়া, তখন ভাবিনু জনম পাইয়া, করিব ভজন তব, করিব ভজন তব। জালে, না হইল জ্ঞান লোভ, না হইল জ্ঞান লোভ। আদরের ছেলে স্বজনের কোলে, আদরের ছেলে স্বজনের কোলে, আসিয়া কাঁদানো গান, আসিয়া কাঁদানো গান। জনক জননী স্নেহেতে ভুলিয়া, জনক জননী স্নেহেতে ভুলিয়া, সংসার লাগিল ভালো, সংসার লাগিল ভালো। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet.
Thank you.
Mataji, we can start.
Well,
Yes, we welcome you for the 27th session of Radha Shunya, Missing Mercy. So, before starting the session, quick announcement that we have translations in Portuguese and Hindi. So, you need to click on the globe icon and select your preferred language. हिंदी में भी भाषांतर है और आप ग्लोब आइकन को सिलेक्ट करके आपकी भाषा सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. So we will start with a small bhajan, actually Brahma Samhita today by Manisha Mataji. So can you just spotlight Manisha Mataji, please?
Krishna Mataji, it's Bhishma Stuti. Shrija Mataji, she will sing. Sorry.
Hare Krishna Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances to your lotus feet.
thank you very much.
Vishwavacha iti matirupakalpitave Trishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukhamupagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritimupeyushiyad Bhava Pravaha Tribhuvanakamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikargorabarambaram दधाने वपुरलककुलावृताननाब्जं विजयसखेरतिरस्तु मे नवद्या युधतुरगारजो विधूम्रवेश्वक कचलुलिताश्रमवार्यलं वृताश्ये नमनिशितशरविद्यमान त्वचि विलसत्कवचेस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा सपदि सखि वचो निशम्य मध्ये निजपरयोर्बलयोरथं निवेश्य स्थितवती परसैनिकायुरक्षणा ऋतवती पार्थ सखेरतिर्ममस्तु व्यवहृतपृतना मुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधाद्विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या कुमतिमहृदात्मविद्ययाय चरणरति परमास्य तस्य मेस्तु स्वनिगममपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञा ऋतमधिकर्तुमवाप्लुतो रथस्था धृतरथचरणो व्याचलद्गु हरिरिवहन्तुमिभं गतो तरीया शीतविशिखातो विषेणदंश शतजपरिप्लुत आततायिनो मे प्रसभमभिससान्मद्वदार्थं स भवतु मे भगवान् गतिर्मुकुन्द विजयरथकुटुम् आर्ततोत्रे धृताय रश्मिनिताक्ष्णीये क्षणीये भगवति रतिरस्तु मे मुमुषो वयमिह निरीक्ष्य हतागता स्वरूपं ललितगतिविलासवल्गुहास प्रणयनिरीक्षणकल्पितो रुमान यतमनुकृतवत्य उन्मदान्धा प्रकृतिमगन् किल यस्य गोपवद्वा मुनिगणनृपवर्य सङ्कुलेन्त सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूय येषाम् अरहणमुपपेदईक्षणीयो मम दृशिगोचर एष आविरात्मा तमिमहमजं शरीरभाजां हृदि हृदि दृष्टितमात्मकल्पितानां प्रतिदृशमिव नैकं दार्कमेकं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहा.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev.
Thank you, Shrija Mataji, for Bhishma Stuti. I'm sorry, I said it wrong earlier. So now let's start with the session. And today's session, the topic is Sacimata's offense. So Gurudev, we request you to start this session.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasarani Nijisa Inasana Vasata Desatarani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasarani Nijisa Inasana Vasata Desatarani Hare Krishna, Chaitanya, Nityananda, Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta, Vrinda, Paya Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi, Gaura Bhakta, Hare Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi, Jaya Advaita Hare Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi, Jaya Advaita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Nita hai gora hari 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 nita hai gora hari nita hai gora hari Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajagaracharya Astu Terasata Sisima Divine Grace ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajagaracharya Astu Terasata Sisima Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Kodi Vaisaranda Ki Jai Namacharya Seva Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Guru Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavaranda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopina Shyama Radha Kunda Giri Garudan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganges Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Amaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Nitai Gauda Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Hare Krishna Prithai Bhutale Simhati. Bhakti Swami Namaste Krishna Padai Pada Shitan Ministry Gaura Karana Shakti Bhakti Chinam. Omagyan Mirandasya Gyanandana Sarakaya Yakshulamalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guravi Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Visham Sapitam Jena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Utapayakam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Tam Sajiva Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Tapta Kanchana Gora Gura Vrindavan Swari Vishabhana Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchokol Patare Vyasta Kripa Sandhi Hari Vacha Patitanam Pavibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Saraswati Gaura Ishada Krishna Gopala Vishnu Jai Ananta Gauri Vaishnav Vrinda Hare Krishna. Yes, what should I do? Radha Sunya, the missing mercy. Day 27. Sacimata's offense. Lord Chaitanya's Mahaprakash. When Lord Chaitanya was at Sriva Thakura's house, relishing very intimate pastimes with his unalloyed servants and associates, he began to exhibit the mood of supreme benefactor in his position of God, instead of remaining situated in his role as a devotee of God. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the bhava of Srimati Radharani, showing everyone how to love him. Yet he entered into his reverential future as the Summon Bonu, the supreme personality of Godhead, in his Mahaprakash pastimes. He took the Salagram Silas, as explained in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, put them on his lap, and explained his identity as the source of all things. He explained his different appearances, such as Lord Ram, Vamandev, Matsya Avatar, and Kurma Avatar. Lord Nityananda, accommodating his mood, placed an umbrella over the Lord, honoring his particular bhav and revelation. A shocking statement. The devotees, because they are eternally connected with him, also immediately entered into his mood and relating to him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, began to ask him to give benedictions and blessings for others. None of them were asking for blessings for themselves, but rather utilized the Lord's ecstatic mood as a chance to extend the Lord's wonderful mercy to others. Mahaprabhu was reciprocating in the mood of Krishna. For any request he received, the Lord promptly gave that person love of God, removed obstacles, and gave them his full blessings. Then Srivas requested, please give Mother Sachi pure love, Krishna Prem. The Lord became disturbed. He replied, Mother Sachi will never get Krishna Prema. She cannot receive Krishna Prema because she has been an offender. The devotee's bewilderment. How could he make such a statement about his own mother? This was an eternal associate who had appeared with him in this world, and the devotees were shocked to hear him make such an emphatic statement, while at the same time giving the benediction of Krishna Prema to so many others. To hear this statement was devastating to the devotees' ears. And because they had so much affection and appreciation for Mother Sachi, they were totally bewildered. Lord Chaitanya gave some clarification. Mother Sachi has been an offender at the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. So what was the offense of Sacimata? When Advaita Acharya, now they are renovating his house just close to Silver Sangam. They are renovating the house now. Advaita Acharya was there. So he was having classes every day. And Vishwarupa will attend every day. And Vishwarupa and Advaita Acharya became very close. Very close. Because they know themselves and they know what they have come to the material world for. Vishwarup is the pseudo brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he took sannyas, he then became a Sankaranya. Before then, he named Vishwarup. So he was very handsome, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. Very handsome, very sweet, extremely sweet. As a Supreme Lord, what do we expect from him? So he was attracted to the devotional service, the devotional topic Advaita Acharya was teaching. So every day he was going there. And sometimes Hindimai would come there to call him. The mother would request, go and bring your brother. Hindimai would stumble there and bring him back home for prasad. So Sacimata was seeing all that. And she was not feeling happy in her mind. But she couldn't speak openly because she knows the consequences of Aparadhas, Vaishnava Aparadhas. So she knows that, therefore she was not talking, she was tolerating. So when Bisharup took sannyas and left home, he became known as Sankaranya. Mother Sachi was so disturbed. And now, Nima was going there. That infuriated Sacimata. So in her mind, she said, who say he is a Dwaita Acharya? He's Dwaita Maya. Dwaita Maya. He's not a Dwaita. He has taken away my illustrious son, Vishwarup. Now he cannot give me chance. He is not interested in taking away again the only child remaining for me. 9 children gone, husband gone, the son is gone. The only thing remains for me is Nimai. That is the only thing. When I look at his face, that is the only solace for me to exist. Advaita, who says Advaita? People can say he's Advaita, but for me, he is Dwaita Maya. Maya, not Advaita. He cannot be Advaita. He is Dwaita Maya. This he said only in the mind. She was never vocal. She knows the consequences of Vaishnava practice. So nobody heard. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is omniscient Lord. He had his mother speak this way. He is a super soul in the heart. The other day, the devotee was asking me, in Kali Yuga, if we don't do anything physical, it doesn't have effect. It doesn't take effect. So we are free. And I say, Prabhu, we are not free. We are not free. Is Sacimata freed here? She didn't say it out. She was only speaking in the mind. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recorded it. So is Sacimata free here? She was speaking this thing only in the mind. Alone. So how are we free? We are free because it will not take effect immediately. But the things which we continue to meditate upon, meditate, after some time it will become our words become our actions. So we should be careful with what we constantly meditate and think upon every day. We should be conscious of that. Because one day it will come out. It will come out as it is now with Sacimata. Therefore, Sitira Mahaprabhu said, for Sacimata, I will not give her prema because she is an offender. She's an offender. She offended Advaita Acharya Goswami. How can she get mercy? She cannot get. That is a problem with Vaishnava Path. Radha Sunya, who will never get Krishna Prema. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought out what she was thinking in her mind. He brought it out. Although he has given everyone Krishna Prema, those who are not chanting. Such a prayer is the mother of the whole universe. She is a Premi Bhakta, not a practitioner. Practitioners, they got Prema from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but the Premi Bhakta did not get. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us a very powerful lesson. Even up to my mother is offensive to a devotee or Krishna Prema. What about us? Ordinary people who are condemned souls, Nitya Baddha. What about us? Nitya Baddhas. Chaitanya will say, she will not get Krishna Prema. I will not give her. Please, I will not give her. Only if she gets her offense rectified from begging Advaita Acharya for forgiveness. So devotees were very disturbed. First of all, Advaita Acharya himself considers Sacimata as his mother. Whatever she might have said, even Advaita Acharya hears it. He would never think otherwise. So devotees rush to Advaita Acharya to tell him that this is what Sam Mahaprabhu is doing now. Advaita Acharya is lamented seriously. All of you want to destroy me. All of you have come here to destroy me. How can our ally Mother so that to tell me how? It is not possible to do that. I will go to hell. Yes, I will go to hell, but by offending a devotee, this is very bad. How can I do that? She is worshipable by me. She is worshipable. I should touch her lotus feet every day. What is this you are talking? As Advaita Acharya was talking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in. Not physically. Made him to fall into ecstasy. He fell on the ground unconscious. Therefore, they told me to say, please, go now, go and touch his feet. Please. So she went and touched Advaita Acharya Prabhu's lotus feet and put on her head. And she said, now she can get Krishna Prema because she had been rectified. But Mother Sachi did not say, what is my son talking? She didn't feel like that. She didn't feel, what is he talking? Me offending Advaita? I'm superior to, how can I offend my child? She didn't feel like that because Mother Sachi cannot make offense. And this is a lila for them. Advaita Acharya, for Sacimata, Sridhar Mahaprabhu, and all his pure associates. This is lila. But for us, it is teaching. This is teaching. What you're teaching, that even if one is so exalted, we should be careful with Vaishnava. You see, this is teaching. You see, even Mother Sachi couldn't get Krishna Prema. Therefore, we should be very, very, very careful. That is a lesson. Sacimata can never make offense because she's not ordinary person. She knows everything perfectly. Going eternal through reflections. Even intimate relationship has spiritual laws. 10 minutes. The background of this statement is that Vishwambara, Lord Chaitanya's brother, you know Vishwambara is Vishwarupa. Vishwambara is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. It's a mistake here. To be corrected. Vishwambara, Lord Chaitanya's brother, was associating with Advaita Acharya, and Advaita Acharya was considered responsible for inspiring him to take sannyas. But Asachi never commented on this incident. She held it in, depressing her feelings. She said it to herself, as we already mentioned. Personal reflection. Have I ever criticized spiritual authorities out of emotional attachment to family members? How do I balance love for family with respect for spiritual principles? What does this teach about Aparadha works even in most intimate relationships? I remember one day, one of my god-brothers, he was working with a very big newspaper industry, very big, Guardian. He's a god-brother, he was working there, he's a manager. And he has to go through everything in detail before it is published. So one day he asked me, I was giving, it was Sunday class, so he asked me, I am so busy in my work. I will closely because I have to read all the things, everything. I have to go through all and approve it for publication before it goes out. So I have difficulty tending my 16 out. What should I do? I replied him, Prabhu, resign from that company, get a different job. That's the answer I gave to him. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. After few years, the government closed that company down. And One day after 2 years, when the company closed down, and he came to me, say, Prabhu, do you remember some time back I asked you a question? I forgot it. I said, I cannot remember. What was the question? And then what happened? He told me the questions he asked me and the answer I gave to him. And he told me he was very angry in his mind. Look at this inexperienced brahmachari. Have you married before? Do you know what it means to have a family? You're just telling me to resign. Will you? So I was very angry and offensive with you. But you know, what you said happened. The company I was working for that I'm so busy, so busy that I was not able to complete my session, close down. And now it's after 2 years, and I'm not dead, I'm not sick, my family are not starving. So please excuse me for the things. I say thank you, Prabhu, for realizing this. Thank you. So I'm sure most of us have had similar cases. So now we can discuss how can we express concerns about spiritual influence on loved ones without committing aparadhas. Hari Hari Bol. Wish you a nice discussion.
Hare Krishna, devotees, you will all be shifted in for the group discussion. So breakout rooms will be, you will be allotted in the breakout rooms. So for first 5 minutes, we would like you to reflect, write down all your points, and then start your discussion. And then one of the representative will share all the reflections here. So wish you good luck. Yes, request all the devotees to raise their hands who were representing the group. I can see one hand raised. So all the representatives, group representatives, please raise your hands. Pratik Prabhu, we can start with you. You can share the reflections.
Hare Krishna. Audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Is Gurudev?
Yeah, I'm just checking. Leela Mohin.
Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Glory story. Please accept. Yes. So, Gurudev, from the discussions we had in our group, for the first question, whether we have criticized spiritual authorities, will especially linked to family members when it comes to attachment with family. So, one of the devotees mentioned, no. As they have been part of ISKCON, they are trying to be prayerful always to Krishna that they are not they don't criticize not just devotees but even spiritual authorities. Another Prabhuji mentioned that yes, prior to joining ISKCON, there were many such instances in their life, and it was her wife that she was introduced to ISKCON first, and then later when he was also introduced to ISKCON, now the Prabhuji is being cautious. In my personal experience, I would say yes, I have criticized spiritual authorities in the past, especially before the Radha Sunya sessions, not just out of emotional attachment to the family, but even in many other ways. That too in the mind. That is what we saw in the today's session. So, and now, yes, we are being very conscious to how we should avoid criticizing anyone, not just devotees, spiritual authority, but even a non-devotee. Second question, how do I balance love with family and respect for spiritual principles? So one of the Guruji mentioned that during in the 24 hours of the day, he mentioned that he's giving the early morning hours for towards dedicated to his morning sadhana, that is to Krishna. And then once he's done with his the day-to-day sadhana, and that is the time, then probably they are associating with the family members. That's how they are balancing their love for family. Another Prabhuji mentioned that since there is shortage of time due to various commitments throughout the day, somehow he manages to balance both the aspects of spirituality as well as family life. Again, in my personal experience, I try to myself serve as a role model, though I don't consider myself, but at least in my family, I try to at least portray that I am able to follow whatever instructions I am receiving from my spiritual master, and those activities which should be avoided. So we try to inform the family members when we see that they are going in a wrong direction or in a wrong way. We try to explain them in a subtle way and not in a harsh way. For the third session, how does this teach about Aparadha? So there is a very famous saying in Hindi, I just translated, it says, Nazar hati to durghatna ghati, meaning when you're driving, if you lose sight, then you are immediately prone to accident. So that's how Aparadha is. We should be very, very careful, not just driving, but whatever we do in our spiritual life. That was a short answer to that. And for the last one, how can we express concerns about spiritual influence? So here, the feedback we receive is we should practice under the guidance of our seniors, spiritual masters. We should always be prayerful, And when being with family, we should be discussing Krishna's pastimes. If they are not interested in so much into Krishna consciousness, then we should be discussing with them Krishna pastimes or stories if there are children within the house. So that's how the discussion panned out. Thank you for the question.
Very good. Nice celebration.
Thank you, Prabhu. Matsya Prabhu, we would like to unmute yourself and share your reflections.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, please accept my most humble respectful obeisances. So our group mentioned that it's very easy to commit offenses to our family. One of the devotees mentioned that she feels it's like an elephant bath. She wakes up every morning, chants her japa, does her services, but during the daytime she ends up committing offenses to her daughter in order to educate her. So she feels that, unwillingly she ends up committing some aparadhas, and she feels that Krishna is punishing her for that. So she's very bewildered with the way that this is happening. So she's said that she is trying to keep her conscience nicely and trying to avoid these offenses because they do happen and they do have consequences. Another devotee mentioned that all of our family bonds, they are important because they have to do with our material body, but we cannot forget that everyone is a spiritual soul and they are connected with Krishna as servants of Krishna, so we cannot bypass that fact. So we will offend them and they can offend us if we are not very careful and mindful in our dealings. Another devotee mentioned that the intimacy is very difficult, so we have to be very mindful in all of our relationships and do our relationships in Krishna consciousness. So, but for us to achieve that, we have to be very conscious about our feelings and how we are feeling toward others, and to not allow that intimacy conducts our actions, but we should be conducted by Krishna consciousness and Buddhi yoga. Also, we have another devotee mentioned we have to balance our relationship, our familiar relationships, and our services with Guru so that we can remain very well connected. Another devotee mentioned that her husband brought her to Krishna consciousness. Say they have this couples relation. So she always remembers that he is the one that brought her to Krishna consciousness. So she has like an eternal debt with him. So this always makes her to remember that he is a Krishna devotee and that he introduced her to Krishna consciousness. So she's always trying to respect him in this way and trying to avoid committing aparadhas by remembering this fact. And another devotee mentioned that we should always be very humble with our family and treat them in the spiritual platform so that we don't commit any offenses and remain without a negative intimacy. That's what our group discussed about. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Nice contribution from all of you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Matsya Prabhu. Shwetadeep Mataji, you would like to unmute yourself and share your reflections.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Gurudev, in our group, we discussed for the first question. There was like, yes, we did due to our conditioning. Many times we commit offenses. And for the second question, how do I balance love for family with respect for spiritual principle? So by not involving family members in spiritual life, we have to respect them parallelly. We have to, parallelly doing our spiritual activities. And one Mataji quotes that quotes like Bhakti Vinod Thakur has said, 8 hours for our spiritual activities, 8 hours for our body, 8 hours for our family affairs like this. So we can do like this. And for the third question, what does this teach how about how aparadh works even in the most intimate relationship? So one Mataji shares, she was like, aparadh is so subtle, but its reaction is so big. While committing offense, we didn't realize it, but its reaction affect our spiritual life very badly. So, and for the discussion point, Srila Gurudev, devotees have mentioned, uh, we can express concern like this. We should respect our superiors. We should be friendly with our same age devotees, and we should be affectionate with our juniors. That's it, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. Thank all of you
Thank you.
sharing.
Thank you, Shwetadeep Mataji. Now, Madhvi Manjari Devi Dasi Mataji, you can please unmute yourself and share the reflections.
Hare Krishna, dear Sridhar, with my humble obeisances.
Thank you.
From our group, have I ever criticized spiritual authorities? One Prabhu mentioned he has not criticized spiritual authorities, but he criticized a lot on family members and also by not engaging them properly when it was the right time. But now they are on their own and they are little favorable to him. And how do I balance love for family with respect for spiritual principles? After all, I mean, Krishna is our supreme well-wisher and supreme friend. Our love should repose onto him. It is natural to love family members because without that we can't be together and serve each other, but not at the cost of compromising spiritual principles. We can't afford to do that. And also another thing is, if we look at our family members are also servants, as the servants of the Lord. And also, as you mentioned in the other session, part and parcels, I think we would avoid imbalance of expressing love. And then for question 3, what does this teach about how Aparadha works? Yeah, there is no concession whether someone is intimate or not intimate, devotee or non-devotee. And I mean, moving or non-moving, I think Aparadha works everywhere. It's a universal law. And we have to be very careful about offense at any level, mental, verbal, or gross level. And then in terms of discussion, how can we express concerns about spiritual influence? I haven't heard anything from the group and I haven't had this concern. I think having spiritual influence, I think it's good. Yeah, in some cases, yes. I haven't experienced this. Thank you.
Haribo.
Thank
Nice
you.
sharing, meditation. Thank all of you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Gurudev, I would like to share the reflections from our group. For the first question, how do I balance love? Have I ever criticized spiritual authorities out of emotional attachment to family members? So it's one Mataji mentioned, not criticized, but doubted. She doubted Krishna consciousness. Is it too much, or will I be able to do it? Or because she was leaving the job and getting married. So for her, it was like, there were many doubts. Another Mataji never faced such kind of issue. But yes, another Mataji has mentioned that in her mind, yes, due to some small situations, she has committed aparadha like this. She has doubted. But it was like in a discussion, she doubted, like, why it is happening. So is it because of this, or it is because of that? Second question, how do I balance love for family with the respect for spiritual principles? So one Mataji mentioned that she completes her rounds before 7:30 a.m. and then give time to the family for the breakfast, lunch, and all the time for her family. So that's how the bonding, she has a healthy bonding with her family. Another Mataji mentioned that we should have strong sadhana. We have to be polite, humble with the family members, give them proper time. My personal experiences, do not try to correct the family members or try to teach them, because they get offended. So show them through the practices. And for the third question, what does this teach about how aparadha works even in the most intimate relationships? One Mataji has mentioned that Lord will not forget any aparadha. So when we blame others, or then we get properly, we have to be proper and sincere, do the sadhana. My feeling is that too much of expectation creates aparadha. So we should avoid expecting more from the family members. And the discussion part, how can we express concerns about spiritual influences on ourselves? So we did not have much of discussion on that, but the only thing I can say is be prayerful and follow proper sadhana and follow Guru's instructions. That way we can, proceed ahead. Thank you, Gurudev.
Very good deliberation, and thank all of you for sharing that. Very nice. Mother Sachi's critical words. Later, when Nimai started associating with Advaita Acharya, he was becoming similarly inspired. Mother Sachi was thinking, you have already taken one of my sons, and now you are ready to take the other. She criticized the mode of address offered to Advaita Acharya. She specifically remarked, to the world, he may be known as Advaita, non-dual, but to me, he is Dvaita, full of duplicity. He has already driven out my moonlight effulgent face son. Now he will not leave this younger one in peace. I'm a destitute mother, yet no one has any pity for me. This Advaita has deceived me. The meaning of her addressing him as Dvaita was that she accused Advaita Acharya of being full of duplicity. This was her offense. But Chaitanya made it very clear that he was in a position to instruct her. But the devotees were thinking, this is your mother. How can you speak like this? So Chaitanya explained that although he was in a position to instruct her, still he was unable to remove the obstacle created by the offense. Advaita Acharya's overwhelming love. This was brought to Advaita's attention when he heard about Mahaprabhu's remarks. He was overwhelmed. How is this? Mother Sachi is the mother's mother, the Lord's mother. From her womb, Mahaprabhu has appeared. She has always been so graceful, merciful, and magnanimous to all of us. How can any of you think that she has offended me, or that I should receive her apology? She is 5 times more of a devotee than anyone else. While speaking like this in deep absorption, meditating on her wonderful qualities, he entered into an ecstatic trance, compelled by his ecstatic love. Advaita exhibited the custom of entering into such deep absorption, prema, due to an inability to sustain external consciousness. The body was apparently in an unconscious condition. Madasachi rectification. Madasachi saw this unconscious state of Advaita as an opportunity to take the dust from his feet. She submitted herself in the mood of his servant and begged forgiveness in this way. As she was touching Advaita Acharya's lotus feet, she became overwhelmed with affection and appreciation, situated in a mood of begging for forgiveness. However, this act excited the tremendous prema active in her. Her body could not contain it, and she also entered into trance. Advaita Acharya was down, and she was also down. They were both fully absorbed in prayer. The devotees witnessing this became so overwhelmed as they watched these two great eternal servants of the Lord, fully enraptured with affection for each other. This was Mahaprabhu's arrangement for benedicting Sacimata with prema. The universal teaching. First, we should understand that Lord Chaitanya was in the Aishwarya Bhav, in the Mahaprakash. Otherwise, this incident was outside the boundaries of etiquette involved in their usual relationship. Sachi is his mother, and not an ordinary mother. The devotees were also temporarily relating to him in this Aishwarya Bhav. And in this way, Mother Sachi was temporarily not seeing him as a son, but as a someone born, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was simultaneously Lord Chaitanya and Krishna. In this mood, he was showing the world that we must be careful in how we associate and not engage in the commission of offenses. Even his own mother is being called upon to teach this lesson. We must constantly let Shastra be our guide, so that we remain very clear and do whatever we do in a way that accelerates Bhakti.
My flight is cancelled. It's a good thing that only you can stay for the program tomorrow.
I didn't want you to go, I didn't tell you. Realization through contemplation. Continue your 30-day notebook with today's focus on intimate relationships and spiritual principles. Family versus spiritual authority assessment, 4 minutes. Write about a time when family attachment conflicted with spiritual principles. How does Mother Sati's example help you understand this dynamics? Should be dynamics. Identify any criticisms you have made of spiritual authorities due to their influence on loved ones. Rectification through humble service, 3 minutes. If you have criticized spiritual authorities out of attachment, plan rectification. By Mother Sati touching Advaita Acharya's feet, How can you demonstrate genuine humility? Write one concrete way to honor someone you may have criticized. Shastra as guide. 3 minutes. Reflect. Do I let emotional attachment or Shastra guide my spiritual relationships? Right. How can I express family concern without offending spiritual authorities? Commit to consulting Shastra when emotional attachment clouds spiritual judgment. Very powerful. Parting meditation. Daily affirmation. We must constantly let Shastra be our guide so that we remain very clear and do whatever we do in a way that accelerates Bhakti. Bhakti, Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Radha Sunya ki jai.
Thank you, Gurudev. Now we would like to take question answers. Devotees may raise their hand. We have Shweta Mataji. Mataji, can you unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Danvat Pranam, my humble and respectful obeisances unto you. Guru Maharaj, I wanted to ask that, in the world there is suffering, this world is full of sufferings. Are these sufferings due to impious activities done by us in the previous lives or to the Vaishnava aparadhas? How can we understand the sufferings which people are in journal? There are many kinds of sufferings which people are dealing with. So, I feel might be Vaishnava aparadh or impious things we have done. So we are suffering. So if you can throw a light on it.
We are suffering because of sinful activities. All sufferings are due to sinful activities, violation of Shastric recommendations. That's the only reason why anyone will suffer in this material. Or Gita 640. Can you put it in the board? Let's see, what is it? 640? One of my sweet verses, chapter 6. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Parta Naiviha Namutra Vinasastasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kaschit Durugatim Tata Gachati. Translation. The Supreme Personality of God has said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. One who does good cannot suffer. Only sinful activities make us to suffer. Either we have offended Vaishnavas, we have violated the regulated principles in the scripture. Sinful activities bring suffering. Yes, that's all. No one can do good. Nahi kalena kritikastit drugatim data gachati. One who does good can never be overcome by evil, cannot suffer. No one can suffer by doing good things. I'm suffering because I'm chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah? It doesn't happen like that. I'm suffering because I'm a pure devotee. I'm 100% absorbed in thinking of Krishna, and because of that, I'm suffering. It doesn't happen like that. No. Taktva swadharmam charanarabim charananam pujam hare pajan apakwata patetatu yaji tatra latra kwas swabhadram abut amushya kim ko vartabdo pajatam swadharmata. This is glorifying devotional service. This is glorification. It is not a recommendation for anyone to become Bhumsika. This is a glorification for devotional service. So we cannot suffer because of doing good. I have told many devotees, don't lament for doing something good. Don't do that. Yes, I'm helping people, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but people are ungrateful, they're not reciprocation. I say, why are you lamenting for doing something good? Why? Don't lament for doing something good. The thing is that people who do like this, they are foolish. Why do we say that? Because we are ignorant of the fact that what we are receiving now, it is the result of what we have done in the past. The good thing we are doing now, the result will come after. But now we have to reap the one we have done. Why am I helping people and I'm suffering like this? You are not suffering because of helping people. You are suffering because of the nonsensical thing we have done in the past. The good thing we are doing now, we will reap the result tomorrow, not today. But for today, we have to pay for the one we have done. All right? Is it clear to you?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Next question. Next
Sorry.
question.
Tulsi Kripavati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please set my humble obeisances at your lotus feet.
Thank you.
Gurudev, we have to, be careful with our dealings with family. But I was thinking yesterday something happened. Like my mother, she lives close to me, like 40 minutes by car. And she's living in a farm, and there is my younger brother living there. She hurt her arm, but I knew that everybody was taking care there of her. And I was like, oh, okay. And I told her, like, if you need me, you can call me. And I'm going there to take care of you. But the thing is that my mother, she's always attached to men. She's always changing relationships. And I remember it, like, since I was a kid, she would never take care of us. She was always working. And when she wasn't working, she was with a man. And I try all my life not to say to her, like, oh, you should do this and that. But I'm seeing like she's old and suffering. And instead of like she's there, hurt, and okay, she's maybe thinking a lot of things. But instead of she think like, oh, I'm going to I'm going to call my daughter to take care of me. Instead of it, she's like going to man's house. and I told her like, mom, please, you need to see that you need to live to God, not to because she's Christian. Not this life like always with men's and this stuff.
You should like, and I told her like, I wanted you to taste just a little drop of chanting Hare Krishna. But after I was thinking, how can we like help in this situation when you are like with my mom, but she's like facing so many troubles because of her mentality. How can I help her?
Hmm. You should go there. You should visit her physically because she hurt herself. You should go there physically, at least spend 1 or 2 hours with her. Then you can gently tell her, Mommy, for a long time, for your whole life, you are after men. Now you're getting old. Can't you think of Jesus? Like the way I think of men? You can gently say like that while you are rubbing her very nicely. You're rubbing her very nicely. Then you can speak like that. That will affect her. And she will feel it. Then if you talk to her on the phone, say, look at this rascal daughter. Nancy, she has to teach me. I'm your mother. She will not understand that. But if you do that, give her some prasadam you brought, that will affect her more. It will penetrate her. Then 1 hour, 2 hours, as the case may be, then you can return back. That will help her the most. All right. Try that and see the effect. I'm sure it will be different. It will be different. Hare Krishna. Next.
Anuragi.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Anuragi.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I accept my humble obeisance at your divine lotus feet, Maharaj.
Thank
So,
you.
in the lecture you have mentioned that from the mind it comes to the words and it one day it will comes to the action. So how to reject that thoughts, Maharaj, from the mind level itself?
A devotee we should practice rejecting all the offerings of the mind by engaging the mind in planning our Krishna conscious activities. We don't have the power to today. No more. We cannot do like that. But we can engage the mind in spiritual activities. By not keeping thinking negatively about certain things. If I'm thinking, oh, Anuragini Sridevi, Anuragini Sridevi, Anuragini Sridevi. One day I will tell you to your face directly. One day it will come out like that. So if I don't want it to come out like that, then I should not be thinking like that. I should be engage the man in thinking something positively. We should hear about Krishna, we should talk about Krishna, we should plan how to do our devotional service. That's how to neglect the mind. That's how we'll change it. A pattern of our thinking should be different. One should not think that, because I'm thinking about you negatively, I'm not going to get any reaction from you because after you're not hearing me, so you're not going to respond. A Christian, super soul is hearing. It is super soul who will arrange it and one day to come out. So we should not keep those things in the mind. And we have discussed many times, if we keep them in the mind, we are culturing nations. not Krishna consciousness. And that will become our future life. Eventually, it will come to that. Because the thing we are constantly meditating upon, that is our future. That is definitely our future. So why Prabhupada is calling this society Christian consciousness? Because we are here to train how to be Christian conscious. Everything we do here to help it become Christian conscious. That means we are getting the mind transformed. And eventually we become Christian conscious in due course of time. That is how to do it. Otherwise, we will not make it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Gurudev, we do not have any more questions.
Thank you all very much. We'll see all of you when?
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
All
same
right.
time. Thank you,
Okay,
Shri
tomorrow.
Gurudev.
All glories to His Holiness Bhakti Tita Maharaj. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Glories to Radha, Sunya teachings and Bhishma, Panchaka, and Yasoda, Damodara, and all the powerful acharyas, Sacimata, Acharya, all the examples given here. So we are blessed by all of them. So become a better devotee. Tomorrow is the last day of the Bhishma Panchaka, the end of Kartik. A wonderful celebration like Tulsi, Vivaha, Salagam Sila. Bhishma Dev living, the material for spiritual world. Nimbarkacharya and Rasalila. Rasalila. Rasalila goes with sweet rice. So I want all of you to make sweet rice for Krishna. And I want to see after tomorrow morning Krishna's lotus fingers inside the sweet rice. Because that is the way we offer. We offer it from the mind, and we cook it, put it under the moon. Put it under the moon tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, cook it, put it under the moon. The next morning, Thursday morning, you don't have to offer it again. It's already offered because the Krishna, the gopis, after rasa dancing, they will feel tired and enjoy your sweet rice. And I want to see their fingers inside the remnants. And that you share with me. I will waiting for that. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami ki jai. Thank you, Gurudev, and definitely we will offer the sweet rice.
Don't forget.
Yes,
I
Gurudev.
want to see the love all of you have for Krishna. I will see that Thursday morning. All your japa, all your whatever you're doing, Krishna consciousness, I want to see it Thursday morning. If you don't cook sweet rice because of fear that Lord Krishna Sringa may not be there, if you don't do that, out of fear, not sure, don't tell me that you forget. I did not remember. You must remember. But remember, if you forget, then I will devise a way for punishment. So everybody must do something. Cook something nicely. Put your mind there. Mother Yashoda said, I want to make you God for my son. I will offer it to Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan will take it out of happiness. He will bless my son for long life. And my son will never steal again for life. In this way, I will show my son the love I have for him. So you want to see that in action. Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. See all of you there.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gurudev. Thank you all the devotees for being consistent every day, joining for the session and listening to the nectar. And yes, of course, we will improvise ourselves and become a better devotee, better human being. And see you soon tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Jai Sachinandana Sura. Jai Sachinandana Sura Muni Bandana Bhavavaya Khandana Jayo He Jai Sachinandana Jai Sachinandana Sura Muni Bandana Bhavavaya Khandana Jayo He Jai Sachinandana Jai Hari Karya He Jai Sachinandana Sura Muni Bandana Bhavavaya Khandana Jayo He Jaya Sachi Murari Mukunda Jai Premanidhi Mahasaya Murari Mukunda Jai Premanidhi Mahasaya Jaya Jata Prabhu Parisada He Jaya Jata Prabhu Parisada He Jai Sachinandana Sura Muni Vandana Bhavavaya Khandana Jayo He Jai Sachi Bandi Sabha Kar Pai Adha Mera Kripa Hai Bandi Sabha Bandi Sabha Kar Pai Adha Mera Kripa Hai Bhakti So Parsada Prabhupada He Bhakti So Parsada Bhakti So Parsada Prabhupada He Bhakti So Parsada Jai Sachinandana Sura Muni Vandana Bhavavaya Khandana Jayo He Jaya Sachi Jai Gauranitai 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 Jai Gauranitai Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadra Jaya Sudarsana जय रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश, रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश, रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश, जय रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय शिल प्रभुपाद। जैसे हरिनाम